If your business has employees, the IRS requires you to file Form 941 every single quarter of the year. Miss a deadline or deposit your payroll taxes late and the penalties start immediately. Today we're walking through Form 941 step by step for 2026 so you know exactly what to report and when. Form 941, the employer's quarterly federal tax return, must be filed by any employer who pays wages, tips, or other compensation to employees. This includes wages subject to federal income tax withholding, Social Security tax, and Medicare tax, which together are called FICA taxes. If you paid any employee wages during the quarter, even just one employee for a single week, you're required to file Form 941 for that quarter. The only common exception is seasonal employers who have a set pattern of not paying wages for certain quarters, but even they must file for quarters where wages were paid. Form 941 is filed 4 times a year, one for each calendar quarter. The first quarter covers January, February, and March, and the return is due April 30th. The second quarter covers April, May, and June, due July 31st. The third quarter covers July, August, and September, due October 31st. And the fourth quarter covers October, November, and December, due January 31st of the following year. These deadlines assume you've made all required deposits on time. If you have fully deposited all taxes due for the quarter, you actually get an automatic 10-day extension on the filing deadline. Let's look at what Form 941 actually reports. Part 1 is the most important section. Line 1 asks for the number of employees who received wages during the quarter. Line 2 is total wages, tips, and other compensation paid. This is your gross payroll for all employees for the quarter. Line 3 is the total federal income tax you withheld from employee paychecks. Lines 5A through 5D cover Social Security and Medicare taxes. The Social Security tax rate is 12.4% total. You withhold 6.2% from the employee's check and you, the employer, match that with another 6.2%. The Medicare rate is 2.9% total, 1.45% from the employee and 1.45% from you. Once you calculate your total tax liability on line 12, you compare it to your total deposits made during the quarter. If you deposited the exact right amount, lines 13 and 14 will show no balance due and no overpayment. If you overpaid, you can choose to apply the excess to the next quarter or request a refund. If you underpaid, meaning your deposits were less than your tax liability, you'll owe the difference, which is entered on line 14. That balance due should be paid electronically through EFTPS at the same time you file the return. And this is important, never send a check to the IRS for payroll taxes. All federal payroll tax payments must be made through EFTPS. Let's talk about the deposit schedule. This is where most small employer mistakes happen. There are 2 deposit schedules, monthly and semi-weekly. Your schedule is determined by looking at a look-back period, the 12 months ending June 30th of the prior year. If your total payroll taxes for that look-back period were $50,000 or less, you're a monthly depositor and you deposit all taxes from each month by the 15th of the following month. If your total payroll taxes exceeded $50,000 in the look-back period, you're a semi-weekly depositor and you deposit taxes within 3 business days of payday if payday falls on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, or by the following Wednesday if payday is Saturday through Tuesday. Schedule B is an attachment to Form 941 that semi-weekly depositors must complete. It's a calendar-style form where you enter your tax liability for each day of the quarter, not your deposits, but your daily liability. The IRS uses Schedule B to verify that you made your deposits on the correct days. If you're a monthly depositor, you do not file Schedule B. There's also a special one-day rule. If on any single day your accumulated tax liability reaches $100,000 or more, you must deposit by the next business day regardless of your normal deposit schedule. This rule applies to both monthly and semi-weekly depositors. The penalties for depositing payroll taxes late are immediate and steep. If you're 1 to 5 days late, the penalty is 2% of the deposit amount. 6 to 15 days late, it's 5%. More than 15 days late but before the IRS issues a notice, it's 10%. If the IRS issues a notice and demand for payment and you still haven't deposited within 10 days, the penalty jumps to 15%. These penalties compound on top of each other and apply separately for each missed deposit. On a $20,000 payroll tax deposit, even a 1-week delay can cost you $1,000 in penalties. And these are in addition to any interest charged on the unpaid balance. If you discover an error on a previously filed Form 941, maybe you reported the wrong wage amount or calculated Social Security taxes incorrectly, you correct it using Form 941X. Like Form 1040X for personal returns, Form 941X uses a 3-column structure: the original amount, the difference, and the corrected amount. You also explain the reason for the correction. If the correction results in you owing more tax, you pay it with the 941X. If the correction shows you overpaid, you can request a refund or apply the credit to future deposits. Generally you have 3 years from the filing date of the original 941 to correct it. A few practical tips to stay compliant with Form 941. Enroll in EFTPS before you hire your first employee. It's free and it's the only approved way to make federal payroll tax deposits. Use payroll software or a payroll service. The calculations are complex enough that manual errors are common and expensive. Reconcile your 941 totals to your payroll records every quarter before you file. And at the end of the year, verify that your 4 quarterly 941 forms add up to match the W-2s you issue to employees. Discrepancies between 941 totals and W-2 totals are a known IRS audit trigger. Payroll tax compliance is non-negotiable when you have employees. The IRS takes these deposits very seriously. If this video helped you understand Form 941, hit that like button and subscribe to Everyday Wealth Guide. We make tax and business finance topics simple so you can focus on running your business.